All right, it's now 6 o'clock. Now going to open up the North Carver Water District Committee meeting, November 6th at 6 o'clock in Meeting Room 4, posted in accordance with the provisions of Mass General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 20B. Area 58 is recording. Thank you very much. I appreciate you being here. Right now, I'll open it up for public comment for anybody who wants to come speak. Come on down. There being none, we'll just move on. Meeting minutes, discussion vote for October 9th is here. Did you guys get a chance to take a look at it? All right. Any comments, issues, suggestions?
I move to accept.
We have a motion to accept the meeting minutes?
Second.
We got a second. Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, that passes. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. One down. Next is bills payable. All right, you guys have a copy. I got the master one here, so I'm going to move my stuff over for that one. All right, so the first one we have on board is paying the Middleborough, all right, for water. So this, I'm going to read it. It's from October 24th, from Karen Prevail, our Finance Director, and Kathy Kay, the Treasurer. The North Carver Water District Commissioners hereby request to commit a total of $71,667.13. Did you get that?
71,667.13.
Yes, ma'am. As of October 21st, 2024, as payment for water usage for the months of July 3, 2024 to October 21, 2024 in the North Carver Water District. Fire protection was $375. Meters is nothing. Water charges was $71,667.13. Bulk water charges is nothing.
Just for clarification, fire protection is in addition to the 71,667?
Well, see, that's, I have issues with that because you would think you would add up to that. So I'm not sure if she had already added the 375 to this amount. But the amount that we have, does the board want to add the 375 to the 71,66,713?
You don't have copies of that, do you? Did you give us copies of that?
This one?
Yeah.
I don't think I got it either.
You didn't get copies of it?
No, I didn't think of
All right, so take a look at that. You know what, if we pay a little bit more, it's a little better if we do, if we authorize that.
Yeah, so the total between the two, yeah, I think that's fine.
But
I mean, it's itemized,
do you want to add the
375?
375 to the 667?
Yeah,
That one there? Okay.
I think it's just an itemized bill, they just didn't put the total at the bottom.
So it'd be 72,042.13. Okay? So I'm just going to write that down here. 2,042.13. If we pay a little bit more, fine, we'll get a deduction on the other one. So I'll entertain a motion for the 72,042.13.
I'll make a motion.
We have a motion,
Second it.
second, and discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. I'm just going to sign my name here.
Sorry to interrupt, Bob. My dad's calling. Is it okay if I put him on?
That's fine, no problem. What is it, 11/6?
Hey, Dad, I have you on
20.
speakerphone. I'm gonna put you up here.
Okay.
It's yours. All right. The next bill that I have here is the, oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. Is the solar that we have here, and I always have a hard time looking at this because there's two different bills here. Looking at the bottom amount.
I got 3 in here.
You have 3?
Yeah, I have Solar America for 10-1 and 11-4.
Okay, so this is the detailed
Okay.
one here. I'm looking at the detailed. So you might not have this one.
Okay.
All right, here, the detailed amount. So since you guys don't have that, we'll go with this and just make sure it's right before we sign this. All right, the Solaire America, that one is $1,697.88. Yep, that one's right there. All right, and then the next one is $1,559.01.
Also Solar America.
Yep, that's Solaire America. So that one's on this
Okay.
cover sheet. The next one is for Phase 2 LLC.
Yep.
And that's $4,091.82. And that's on here too. And then we'll vote on that first.
You need a motion together.
Yeah, we're gonna do one vote for all of these, for the solar.
I'll make a motion to accept the 3 solar invoices.
Okay, we have a motion,
I'll second it.
discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. There's that one. The next one we have here is the Verizon bill. And that total is $428.70.
Make a motion to accept.
A motion,
Second it.
second, discussion. All those in favor say aye. All right. That's all set, that's 2. That's right on this page too. All right. All right, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 bills here for Susan Hannon for her excellent work she does. All right, so, yeah,
Motion to accept. 4 bills.
4,
300.
yep, 300, okay. So I'll entertain a motion to pay all 4 for a total of 300. A motion,
Second.
second, discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, that's all set. And we have this final bill here, Rapid Ready Unlimited Customer Support Annual Go-to-My-PC License. You guys know what this is from? Because I have no clue.
Reading meter limited. I wonder if that's
Is it the meter reading?
I don't know if it's the meter readings or it's the service, so you can remote into the computer system that's up there.
That we're not using. So what do you guys want to do with this?
I'd like to get some more information on it.
Yeah,
but-
is this something?
Okay.
Can we-
So we'll hold off that for the next meeting. All right, and,
This is their invoice?
1,428. So I'll put that here as not approved.
You want me to take that and give them a call, just get some information on what it is, something more detailed?
What, now?
Well,
What?
no, they're not open now.
I'm like,
Tomorrow, I
okay.
can call tomorrow and just get, if they can
Yeah.
give me some more clarification.
Yeah,
Okay.
so, we voted on all the ones that we have here on the first page. So I'm just gonna sign my little John Hancock here, pass it over to you. All right, and the last page in there, we took no action on here. And I'm not gonna write on it, because she'll get mad at me if I write on the bill.
Need a mo-
All right, that's done. Thank you very much. Put this together here, we'll leave that separate. I'll let Jill know tomorrow for that. And leave on the table. Okay. That's done. All right, next on our list, since we're done with bills payable, meeting minutes, discussion with Route 44 Development, George McLaughlin. He's on the phone right now with us, okay? And I'll leave it. Do you want to talk now, George?
Yeah, sure. Folks, sorry I'm not there in person. I have COVID. I feel like I've been run over by a truck. So, but I wanted to address you. Bob was nice enough to give my son a tour of the plant today, and he videotaped that and sent to me. But I wanted to address you folks and answer any questions you have about Bob's and my support, and just tell you that we're there to do anything we can. It's in both of our best interests to get the plant up and running again. I don't know if I mentioned this to you previously, but I met with Glenn and I met with Tom, my son George, and I met with them, and they're open to entering into some type of a tax deal to give us a tax break if we, if we purchase big ticket items like water towers, etc. And so that's it. We're all in. We got to have this place work. We have, as I say, we have two buyers who want to buy land and build plants there. They're going to need water, and so we're going to have to produce water. So that's where things are.
Okay. George, do you have access to water on your property at all?
Yes and no. We had a PFAS problem on our property, as you probably know. So our LSP has advised against us putting in wells on the property.
Okay. So I think I've discussed this before with the board, is that there is an urban renewal plan out there for that area. And it does say that under our guidelines that we're supposed to do with what the plans say and work toward that. And the state gave us a grant for $3.2 million to put a light in.
And an access road, a light and access road, and also the, I think it was like 1,200 linear feet of water pipe.
Correct. Thank you. I was going to say that, but it's all right.
Sorry, Bob.
It's all good. No. So George put up, I think, $800,000 of his own money too, to assist with that.
Yep.
So there's been clearly a willingness for us to provide water to his facility, his property. He is a taxpayer of this town. The water line goes right up to his roadway there, so it's accessible. We know now Middleborough will not pay for water for his, provided to his property. And as he said, he does have some buyers there, and he needs water. He needs, I think, us to have a commitment of some sort to provide him water. So I figured having George in here and talking to you guys about it to say, hey, I think we need to figure out, and I know we'll talk about the engineering study later on, but, and we'll talk about the budget too, but I think we have to give him some type of an understanding of where we all stand here as a board, and his project there. So, do you guys have any questions?
I don't.
Not yet.
I think the engineering study's like kind of at the forefront. We have to get that. I know we just got the RFP on a distribution operator, but I think we might have to. I haven't seen anything on the RFP for the engineering study.
Yeah.
We gotta get that like
Yeah. I think
now. Like that's kind of where we stand.
Yeah. So, my feeling is no matter what the engineering study comes back and says, So if they come back and say that we need $500,000 worth of work at that plant, are we willing to pay out $500,000 to fix the plant?
I don't know.
I don't know. I can't answer that.
Well, well, we have to, well, really, I mean, at some point, we
Well, we
have
don't
to
have-
answer that
Well, yeah.
question.
We
All
need
right?
so we need their feedback, I think, to grasp which directions it's gonna, the costs, either way, and what the plant can do. It's a 100,000 gallon a day plant, but maybe they come back and say, this is actually only gonna give you about 75,000 gallons. This is what's gonna be needed. And they might say, we need a water tower, whatever it might be.
Right.
We have to get them involved to see.
Correct, but we have to have we have to have some way of guiding where we're gonna go with this. I mean,
That's
I
what-
understand the engineering plan is there, but, I mean, why spend money on an engineering plan if we're not gonna start it up again?
Well, that'll tell us which direction we have to go. Is it a full-fledged replacement of the plant, or is it just a major upgrade?
Because I can tell you that the numbers that came out, the water results, when small water systems walked away, they were within normal range, okay?
Right.
We have 2 wells there that can produce water. We know what our capacity is with DEP. If we're looking at possibly getting a water tower, all right, then whatever capacity we have, that's going to help us out, having a water tower with the pressure and the long-range goals. And that's what we have to look toward, is long-range goals. So I know my long-range goal, and I'll tell you right now, is that we get the system, originally it was to convert the system over. Right now, knowing Middleborough doesn't want our water, okay, then we don't need to convert it, we just need to fix what we have.
Right.
All right, so we fix what we have, get the plant up and running and start providing water. We get a water tank, then we go with Middleborough and say, okay, do we want to do just the residential and then switch over for commercial just for the water plant? Because if George gets a big developer in there and develop in that rest of the property, they're going to probably need more water, and we may be able to support that. And then I have reached out to Plimpton, and if they have any ability that they need water, we may be able to sell it to them too, knowing that we have that ability. So we have to look at long-term plans, and that's my long-term plan, is get the system back up and running, start to provide water, and to help out his plan with his development, part of the urban renewal plan, and that's what I'd like to see done. And I understand you guys don't want to make any rash decisions now, okay, fine, but I think we need to have a goal, and that goal has to be, we get the system up and running.
Right, but I think that's the end result, regardless. But I think
Okay.
engineer. Go ahead.
A quick question, commissioners. The RFP that you have now, and as I understand, I've been, bedridden. I'm in rough shape. I understand it's been emailed to me. Is that the RFP for the study?
No, that RFP is for a distribution operator. Middleborough walked away from us. They gave us a 30-day notice.
Yeah.
So we have to provide a distribution operator that will comply with DEP regulations, give us that ability to deal with Middleborough, fix our meter issues, all right, take care of basically the day-to-day operations of the district that we don't have the qualifications to do. It's requirement, we have to do that, DEP's requiring it, we're going to comply. We may not have it when DEP wants it to, but we're going to have one as soon as we get all the, anybody that applies for it. And if they don't apply, we don't get anybody, then we'll have to reach out and find someone.
When will you have the RFP for the study?
My goal for that is next week, we'll have it completed. And then we can hopefully put it out on Wednesday, so.
Okay, and can you send me a copy of that, Bob, please?
So, through an information request, yes. If you're going to apply for it, I need to know that.
No, I'm not going to apply for it. I'd just like to, I'd just like to read it just for my own edification.
Okay, that's fine. Like I said, I don't want to show any favoritism to anybody,
Yeah.
and to keep this as open and upfront as possible to everyone. So I'll be happy, once I get that, to forward it to you.
Yeah.
I'll use you asking me for it now as a public records request.
Yes.
And once I get it, I will forward it to you.
Good, thank you.
No problem. Okay. Anything else, George?
No, I think you folks are right. I mean, if I was on the board, I'd want to see, look at what's it going to cost to straighten things out, what needs to be done, and then once I was armed with that information, I'd want to talk to me and say, okay, the board can pay for X, but we don't have the money for a water tower and a foundation. I mean, that's like $1.3 million. You're going to have to help us out with that, George and Bob. And I'm telling you now, we will do that so long as I can work out something with the town, which I'm confident we can. I've had nothing but good relations with Carver for the past 10 years. And I find Carver very reasonable to deal with. And so we'll get through this. Like I say before, if we can put a man on the moon, we can straighten out this. It's just a question of having the right information and having the money and getting it done. So, I'm the eternal optimist. We'll get this straightened out.
Okay. Thank you very much, George, all right?
George,
All right.
Oh, 1 second, George, don't leave.
George, one question, and I'm not holding you to it. If that was fully built out over there, do you have roughly what you're going to probably be looking for gallons per day? Do you have and I'm not going to hold you to it. Roughly.
I don't have that at the tip of my tongue, but I can get that to you. And then, of course, it depends upon who the users are.
Right.
But I can get you, George. Make a note of that. I'll get you a rough estimate on that.
No, that's understandable. I know if it's office type dwellings, the gallons per day is going to be a lot less. Fire protection, or if you're going to have some industrial commercial out there that's going to require fire suppression, but some type of window of gallons. It could be 50 to 75,000 gallons a day, roughly. Worst case scenario, but just something.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Okay, good. I'll get that to you, folks.
And the Hillwood paperwork that we was sent out said 125,000 gallon elevated domestic water storage tank
Yeah.
at the site. Was that the one that was proposed for the North Carver Water District, and then you had another 50,000 gallon one for fire suppression? Was that sound right?
Yeah. In other words, the 125,000 gallon tank is to help with the supply of water, and also, more importantly, to pressurize the system. The other tank was on-site fire suppression.
Yeah, it was a
But again, it depends upon what the users are in the buildings. What Hillwood was looking at is they were looking at like 1,500,000 square foot distribution center with all kinds of paper and flammable objects. So the fire suppression is going to depend largely upon what the people are doing there.
Yeah, it's probably a cistern, which typically the water's just stored in there, ready to go, so it's not a daily usage.
Right, exactly. That's what it would be.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. All right, that's it.
All right. Thanks for your time, folks. I'll be in touch.
Take
Thank
care of
you.
yourself.
Goodbye.
All right. Thank you. Bye.
All right. All righty. Thank you very much for coming in,
Yeah, thanks,
helping
guys.
us.
He's gonna be wiped out from that.
Yeah. And just to follow up is, as he said, I did show George McLaughlin the fourth, the plant today. We just walked around it and talked about that. Next on the agenda is discussion of one-stop grant. Okay, so, So, we didn't get the grant.
The one-stop grant?
the one-stop grant, and it was for 40,000. Okay, but I have some concerns about that. I had requested from the town a copy of the one-stop grant application that they put in. I did get one from the town, but it was for $80,000. And you have a copy of that, the one they got today. It says dropped off today, in the pink note on it, right there with your hand on it. Yeah. So, and it was a $9,000 matching grant. There was a number of things that I had some issues with, the application, the way it was filled out. And who filled it out, how it got filled out. I did send an email out after I got this and said, hey, this doesn't look like the right one, and I never got a response. So I went and talked to George McLaughlin, and we were talking about the grant, and he had a copy of it. He got me a copy. I got it and looked at it and said, okay, fine. And it was 6 pages of it. And then when the grant was going through, I had called the grant people and I asked them, I says, how does the grant work? All right, and I asked questions about it. And the guy was super nice. He says, yep, all right. I asked him, can you have an organization fill it out? Can you hire someone? He says, yeah, sure, but it's the town that is the one that's doing the work for it. So reading the one that George had given us, and then when we didn't get the grant, I put an information request in, and that's the one that says grant dropped off page there. I emailed the One Stop Grant people and said, hey, can I get a copy of it? They sent me an email back and said, please fill out this other form to get your information request. I didn't like that response because my response was, in the initial, is just provide me the application. And they send me, no, fill out this form. And I sent them a nice letter back, email back saying, under the public records law, you have 10 days to respond. All right, you can respond with the amount or whatnot. And then I gave them the laws to say, this is what you have to do. And I'm not going to fill out this other online document for it because I already did. I'm not going to do it twice. I don't have to. I got an email from a lawyer from the state with this form that I dropped off, and that's what it says, dropped off. If you go through this form on the second page, we'll just go through it real quick because I think this is important. It says the organization structure here, and it has Board of Selectmen, their role, the town administrator, the role, the departments and committees, public safety, and so permitting, community service, and then it has advisory committees and commissioners and finance planning, clerk's office, finance. Not one thing about the North Carver Water District. This grant has to do with the North Carver Water District, and not one mention of an organizational structure of the North Carver Water District. That's my first issue on this application. So I don't know why we didn't get the grant. I'll talk about that in a few minutes. But then going forward through this, as you keep going, all right, it goes back to the amount here, and it says requested funding is $40,000 here for a total. Then total project cost is $80,000. All right, applicant match, nothing, and total project cost is $80,000. So we would be on the hook for another $40,000. Looks like if we got the grant, we would be on the hook for $40,000. Two on top of that. Then you move over to it's item 2.16. It's and it has everything about the development of 100,000 square feet of new warehouse distribution facilities located in North Carver. Project has already completed a MEPA study. So this is all about the urban renewal plan in here.
Right.
All right, so then go to another 4 pages, all right, here. And there's a whole section that I never got from the town or George. And I've already talked to George about this, so I'm not pressing anything for him. And I did talk to Glenn about this here. But on-site engineering, it's George's company, it looks like, an engineering company, and it has all this information about what they'll do for a grant. And this goes into saying, well, who filled out this grant? Has applications in it. So I talked to George about this, and I talked to Glenn about, no, please. Okay, I turned around and said, George said that the town told him to do it. Glenn said that George was doing this prior to him coming in. And if I'm wrong, please say I'm wrong, but that's what was said. And then George had a meeting with you and with Glenn and said, go ahead and do it. So George went ahead and did it and filled it all out. And as far as what I'm getting is it was sent to Glenn, and Glenn made some changes to it. And then it was submitted in. The issue that I have here is that George filled this out, and it appears that the engineering study would be going through George, and he'd be doing it for that. That's what it just appears to me, the way with all that information from his company. The optics of it I don't like. Just don't like it. I had a meeting with Glenn, and I told him, you really shouldn't use him, George. It should be done by us, this grant application. And if I'm wrong, please, that's what I said.
You want me to help clarify it?
No, I'm just letting you know if I'm saying something wrong.
Well, I'll help you clarify if you want to
Well,
listen. If you don't.
one second, yeah, all right. So then, so I had some concerns about this, and I've come up to myself and said, okay, fine, we're just gonna try to move on to this. But I did reach out to the One Stop Grant place again and said, hey, can I find out why we didn't get the grant? And they said I have to go through the town, and then I got an email from, I'm not sure if it was you or Tom Bott, I think it was Tom Bott, that said that if you want to find out about the One Stop Grant, have one of your commissioners come in and meet with Tom and Glenn, and they'll tell you why you didn't get it. Now, that really pisses me off, and my email, clearly I sent to him, said some of the things I've said here tonight.
That's incorrect also.
Well, okay, that what I get mad about is a simple says, hey, yeah, we found out, this is the reason, Bob, here you go. And we could turn around and discuss it, because we need to learn from this, so we didn't get it, so let's find out why. I don't like this, you have to have a meeting with us to find out, just a short email, boom, here you go, this is the reason why,
Well, we
and
don't
we'll
know
learn
the
from it.
answer.
1 second, okay?
All right, and just,
If you keep interrupting, okay,
yeah.
I'm gonna ask you to leave,
Okay.
okay? You can, if I recognize you, then you can speak. Do you understand that?
I did, you just asked if there's something
Wait.
wrong, speak up. And I'm-
No, I said if I was wrong, okay? Now, if you'd like to speak, go ahead.
So I think you have two grant applications in front of you, right? So the first grant application you have with George McLaughlin's engineer who put in information, that was the grant application that was sent to me originally. I pared that down and took that information out.
May 22nd of this year.
Yeah, somewhere around there, like I say, I started May 14th, just so you know, walked in the door. So I took that information out of the grant application and then submitted the grant application. The only thing I do want to talk to you, the only thing I'd say to you is, I don't really know why, when I fill out the grant application, it was a $40,000 grant. For whatever reason, that $80,000 number, I couldn't change. I could never figure out why I couldn't change
I
it.
think they match up to half. So
I
they,
don't know what it was, yeah, we only wanted the $40,000, we wanted the $9,000 match. I couldn't change the $80,000, so I think you're looking at two different grant applications there. And again, one was given to me that George McLaughlin's engineer, I think, put together. That's the one I pared down and submitted to the state. So we haven't found out really why we've been denied the grant. What happened is they called me up, they said that you wanted to know why. So we said, okay, we'll reach back out to the commissioners. If they want to sit in the meeting, we haven't talked to them yet. I should say, I had a brief conversation with them, but we haven't had a full explanation of why we didn't get the grant. So we just can't tell you the answer. I mean, the only thing they told me briefly was that, so we also received an $80,000 economic development grant, and it did sound as though the town wasn't eligible for 2 grants. That was a brief explanation, but, you know, again, we're hoping you come in, we can call the lady up and have a deeper conversation about it.
Okay, so personally, I think it would have been better if you call them and say, hey, why did we get it? I don't think we should have to come in there and say, hey, all right, we have a sit down and talk about it. Just, you guys are here all day, all right, working, all right. They offer that information out to you to say, hey, if you want to know, call us and we'll tell you, we'll talk to you, okay? I don't think taking more time out for any one of us commissioners to go to the meeting and say, hey, all right, listen to what they have to say or anything. Just get the information, put it down and send it to us.
So, so I wanted to include you in the discussion, that's why I did that.
Okay, so does any of the commissioners want to have a meeting with Tom, Bott, and Glenn to find out why we didn't get the grant?
And the person from the state, Mallory Sullivan, I wanna- again, she hasn't told me specifically why.
what is it, an in-person meeting or is it like a
So it'll be on
Zoom?
the phone. Yeah, it could be a Zoom, so it could be a telephone call.
Well, now it's Teams or whatever.
Yeah.
So, I mean, because I've done this work, I really want to know
Do you
for
want
the
to, why don't you
future.
get on the meeting?
All right, what?
Why don't you go on the meeting?
Well, see, that, I'm putting it out to the board members to pick who wants to go and do this.
I pick
I
Bob.
mean, okay. I mean, I just think this is just extra stuff that we didn't need to do, all right? And the other thing is that, like I said, we didn't get it, but
You
you
just
know
wanna know
what?
why.
We need to know why, so we can make it better the next time, that we don't do the same mistake in some way, shape, or form, all right? So, that being said, we can schedule a meeting, okay?
Sure.
Yeah, and I'm
All
just, I'm reaching here, but I mean, there's some information in it that kind of sticks out to me. Because we're an MBTA community designation area. Yes?
Yeah,
Housing choice designation for this? No. So I know there's a lot of stuff going on with this funding,
yeah.
and that's probably what, that might be what.
Right, and that's, like I said, I mean, we have to, and we'll talk it later on the budget, but thank you very much, all
Yeah,
right?
And you can get on whatever teams.
Okay.
He works great hours, so get us.
It won't be, it's only gonna be probably a 10-minute,
Yeah.
15-minute meeting, because they're gonna say, hey, that we had this, and this, and this is the reason why. Okay, fine, no problem, see you later. I just think it was just,
I think it'd be good for you to hear it firsthand too, because again, for the next grant application, right, the board will be submitting the grant.
Oh, most definitely,
Yeah, that's
most
gonna be done
definitely.
down, so I think it is
So-
good for you to hear it.
okay? Because they wouldn't tell me anything because we weren't the applicant, which was frustrating, but no matter. All right, we're moving on to discussion of the DEP lead and copper. The DEP sent me messages that need to be filled out by a certain time frame. We didn't have anybody doing it. I didn't know Middleborough was doing it for us. I did go with Middleborough to check out Tractor Supply and the Honeydew building, the Cornerstones building there. So we got those done. And just, I don't know if you guys knew this, but Tractor Supply, they don't have a backflow device there. That backflow device is actually hooked up to the USA Fitness building. That's where the backflow device is. So the water goes from the water system to the backflow device and then gets distributed out. So there is none at Tractor Supply. It's at, and they have supposed to go yesterday. I just saw the email today, but yesterday they wanted to go look at it. They have the access code to get into it, the back room now, so they can go into it and do their inspection for it. But Middleborough did do the lead and copper, and they submitted it to the state. So it was late, but I did send emails to them, the state, saying that it's going to be late, and we'll do it when we can. So we're okay with that now. Water distribution operator, any discussions with that? No, okay. Water distribution operator discussion and process, it's, the lawyer had a problems because we don't have an account with the state to put it on the central register. So I called up the town and I asked Glenn if we could put it on. They put it on for us. I guess there was some issues with it.
Yeah, we found a few errors in it.
There were some errors in it,
Yeah.
so those were fixed.
Yeah.
And it was submitted on the register on Wednesday, I think it was. So thank you very much. I appreciate that very much. And
This Wednesday, or last Wednesday?
last Wednesday.
Any takers yet?
No, I haven't got anything yet for it.
Yeah, I don't, sometimes you have to submit to the central register and it takes a couple of weeks for it to actually publish.
Yeah, I haven't-
checked to see if it's published.
Yeah, I haven't either.
So I read through this. Doug, I don't know if you read through it.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're gonna get anybody.
Well, and if we don't, then we've done that ability and we can hire somebody out afterwards. So, because we have to do it. So there are companies out there that are willing to do it, and we'll see. There's a lot to it, that's the issue. So that's all set with that. Discussion of Middleborough extending service. Did you have a meeting with Middleborough yet?
I did. I met with them today, actually. It was supposed to be last week. It got bumped, and we finally sat down today at 3.
Okay. All right, so before you give that, I want to question here. The water on, what was it, 148A?
Yes.
They put in a meter and a pit, a meter pit, go into their house. And I assumed that it was run by the town was doing it, and that the town would have notified Middleborough. I sent them it's my fault, I'm sorry, I didn't do that, I didn't notify them about that.
They understand that. That was one of our discussions today. I gave them the information who the contractor was. He does have a question, and I gotta find out from the contractor, because that should have if the well's been taken off.
Right.
And there's a cross connection in there.
Yeah, and so the other thing is that we'll have to cap their well. Their
Right.
well will have to be capped.
Yeah, inside, that's what they wanna confirm.
Right.
He wants to get in and see it.
Yeah,
So,
so I just, the next time you talk to them, like I said, I apologize, I'm sorry.
I did
It wasn't-
apologize to him, because I should have they just assumed it was just like North Carver water, so they just went and did it.
Yeah.
And they didn't realize, I stopped up here to tell them, if anybody comes in and do a hookup, it's gotta be notified with Middleborough first.
Right,
So
right.
they're aware.
All right, so can you,
Yep.
the floor is yours for Middleborough now.
Thanks. So we had a great meeting this afternoon. The meter pit is in. They got everything set up. On the 8th, they'll be shutting down that section of Plymouth Street from basically the line right up to Wall Street. You won't have access to there. They're gonna put the sheathing in for the pit. The manways are in. They got the bypasses set up already, and they're gonna hopefully, by the end of the month, they're gonna change everything over. So they're gonna run the bypass and put the actual setup inside. I didn't go up and look at it, but the other work went well. They did all the testing. That's great. So they have a December 1st, kind of, we're gonna be on the line.
Okay,
There were some concerns because he just did some meter reads.
yep.
Perkins Road. So we typically average 40,000 gallons a day. That, this one read is telling us 70,000 gallons a day, so, and he knows it's wrong, so he wants to get in and change a couple meters.
Right.
I don't know if you've been looped in on that.
No, but I know, I got some emails from Middleborough about issues with them, and I had that on number 13.
Yeah, so he wants to address the Perkins Road, because right now it's reading 30,000 gallons a day more than they actually use.
Yeah,
And it's tied in, they narrowed it down to Perkins Road.
yeah,
There's a couple on Santana that have to be changed out. They gotta be cubic feet, not gallons, so they know they're all funky.
Ooh, I don't have Santana.
31 Santana. He said they all should be in cubic feet, all the meters.
Right,
So he'll address the meters. He'd rather do those and get on top of them. He did some of the the readers, the digital
He already
readers.
did, all right.
I had talked to Doug knows how to do them, but
Yeah.
Middleborough is already on top of it, so.
Okay.
They're on good on that.
All right.
Our town meeting is before Middleborough's this year.
Yeah,
They want to get the MOU ironed out. So basically, they want to be able to just get an MOU in place. We can probably do it. We probably don't have to go through town meeting for it. We can do it as
yeah,
the district.
right,
No end date, just it's here. And if for any reason we go off and we break down and we need water, they just open the line up again. Something brief, 2 pages, nothing fancy. You
Okay.
can have, he'd like our lawyer to draw up something
okay,
and let them proof it and make any adjustments, and then get it back and just get that out of the way. And they want to make sure they get that to town meeting, so, and they're gonna put a number on the gallons. It's gonna be like, they want to get a read on the, once the meter pit's in.
yeah,
And they're gonna probably go a little bit about that to any fluctuation or some other residents tying on at the time. But, you know, if we're using 35, they might say 45,000 gallons a day, whatever it is. I don't know.
all right, so I'll entertain a motion to have our lawyer draw up an MOU with Middleborough and work with Eric, specifics with that,
Yeah.
and to get that MOU done, and he'll work on that after we finish with the engineering RFP.
And there's one other item, so the rate's probably gonna go up a little bit on the price per gallon for water. It's gonna be like, I think it's 1.5 or 2 times what the
Right.
Middleborough rate is. It's still gonna be well under what the North Carver Water District rate was, price per gallon we were charging. And that's gonna offset the cost of the meters and the small stuff they're doing. That's gonna offset the cost for what they're gonna maintain
Okay, so,
on the line. The meters, the cross connections, they're gonna be responsible for them.
so when we get the distribution operator in, he would be in charge of all those at that point, because I thought when the idea of the meter pit in, that they're gonna get a total number from that point, but from the meter pit all the way in, it's on us. That's North Carver Water, and we're in charge of all those
Yeah,
things.
I'm not a I don't know departments, but he wanted to be in charge of the cross connections. I think it's for contamination to their water.
Right, oh, most definitely,
So
most
that's why
definitely.
And
Yeah.
that price per gallon will offset that cost for them taking care of that. And
Okay.
Make sure they're maintaining everything else.
All right,
But the sampling, all that can be done by our
Okay.
distribution operator, because
Right,
it's all in the state
right.
code.
okay, all right. So I have, I'll make that motion to have Eric work with our lawyer to get an MOU with Middleborough,
Second.
with no end date, a total gallon max that we use.
Yeah, like they
And-
said, it'll be kind of open, it's 99 years, whatever it is. But if we go online and we feed whatever, the development, if
Right.
whatever happens, if for some reason the plant goes down, they can go up and they'll just open the valve.
Right.
They'll be there for us, they're not just gonna say no.
Okay,
But
so, and then with that MOU, should be something in there for discussion of rates, water
Yeah.
rates for it.
Yeah.
Like I said, there's no set one, but just before
Yeah,
water
they're gonna
rates that
set
we
up now,
discussed.
it'll probably be 1.5 to 2 cents, 2 times whatever their
Right,
current
right.
rate is.
Okay.
And they'll probably just leave it at that. It's well under what we were getting to
Okay.
try to offset the cost.
All right,
While we're on that, they did give me a bill, and I don't see it in the minutes. And I assume this is tied to the meter pit, 98 grand,
yes. So
ARPA funds?
that's the ARPA fund one?
Yeah, is this the one, I think they split that.
I don't know. He's like, can you check on this? We sent it out on September
This went
30th.
through an email chain, were you on that, Bob? I think you were.
Yeah, I was.
I think he said
Yep.
the first 3 charges were meter pit, and the bottom 3 charges were North Carver Water District, because the town's paying for the meter pit through ARPA funds.
Correct.
Right.
Take it?
Did we just pay the water then?
Oh, so we paid the water, we didn't pay these, the supplies, the labor, so, and the billing fee. All right, so we will have to deal with this. So can you contact Middleborough and just confirm these 3 here? The 1,109.21, the 10,448, and the $5, that those are
North Carver
our
water?
North Carver Water,
Okay.
because that's not included in, because because the 10,000 is for all their labor that they help.
Yeah, that's the detail.
It also costs the police details too,
Yeah,
so I thought that was, that would have been, ARPA's not paying for that, right? ARPA, Glenn, ARPA only paid for a certain portion of it?
No, I was gonna say, I thought it was the top three things, and again, I hate looking at emails.
No.
I thought the top three, he said, and I'd have to dig it out, maybe it's these top four then, because they're kind of the way they're grouped,
Right.
right? He said those were meter pit, but then these ones in the bottom,
Okay,
which you think police details would be meter pit.
that might have been Flushing. Did they
Maybe
flush?
that's what it was? I
okay,
don't
that
know.
could be. So I think it is. I think that's for us, so.
I think the
just
bottom three here are
confirm.
for you.
Okay.
You want
Yeah.
to, yeah.
I'll get
Yeah.
confirmation.
Just confirm those with Middleborough,
Yeah.
and we'll put it on our next meeting agenda.
Okay.
If you can get it within the next 2 weeks, because I'll probably gotta ask for a meeting in 2 weeks.
2.5.
Well, all right, well, we'll talk about that later. So,
Okay. I'll
anything
get
else
them
with
tomorrow.
Middleborough?
Nope, that's
All
it
right,
right now.
thank you very much for doing that, I
good
appreciate it. Like I said, just having discussions is a good thing.
They're also gonna be going for their request for additional output for water. But they don't know how long that's gonna be with DEP.
Okay, so I have a motion and second.
Second.
We had a second for Eric to go ahead and talk with the lawyer for an MOU for Middleborough. All those in favor? Or discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, unanimous. Thank you very much for doing that, I appreciate it. So, yeah, I was gonna say something else, but it'll come to me. The engineering RFP, he's still working on it, but it should be done by next Wednesday for us to put out. I know it's taken a long time, it's in-depth, unfortunately. He got some more information for it, too. So I'll talk to him tomorrow, the lawyer, when I say him, the lawyer, about it. Next one is discussion and vote on the proposed budget. All right.
Is this the proposed budget?
So, I made the budget out this year, all right? I took what was there from last year's, which was 660-something thousand.
Yeah, 669, 706.
Yeah, that sounds right. That was last year's, and then I expanded on it because we're gonna have some things on it. I just wanna go through it first, all right? Our electric bill, 25, was 41,000. I brought that up to 50,000. Just because we don't, if we're gonna start opening that up, start running it more,
Right.
all right, it's probably gonna cost more. For it, I put it a little bit more, just to cover ourselves. Propane, I put 5,500. That can change. We have 70% in one tank and 75% in another. So I'm not sure if you want to keep that amount or not, of the 5,500,
Yeah, that's good.
okay? Do you want to keep the 50,000 for electric?
It's running minimal right now, right?
Yeah.
That's based off of it running.
Yeah, but
for-
once the well starts running, who knows what that's gonna.
So
Did you say 50,000?
50,000 for electric. So you can think that over. I have a meeting tomorrow with Glenn and Karen in the morning to go over this with them. So,
Probably shave that down like $5,000.
okay,
5 to 8 grand.
all right. Do you want to go back to the 41,000? Just go
Yeah.
41,005?
Yeah, 41.5 is, because that's based off a full year of electric usage.
Yeah.
Now it's running on basics up there,
Right.
so.
But we're talking the next fiscal year, so if we were running, if we get it up and running,
Oh, this is for July of next year.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, so-
Yeah, so if we get the plan up and running, that's
I
what
would
I'm.
keep it at the 50, because I know
Okay.
what electricity.
All right.
right now.
Because the way I built this up is that we're gonna run the plant,
Right,
okay? That's what I did. The next one, North Carver Water District repair and maintenance of the well. And the well in the facility, I don't know why, I think it'd just be maintenance of the facility would cover everything, including the well, but I put 25,000 because we don't have any backup of pumps.
Right.
I didn't find any in there. I don't know if they're hiding somewhere, because I'm not going up on
Yeah.
the top area there. But we need to have backups of everything. I don't know if in your plant you have backups of everything, but we have very little
There might not be a
extra.
well pump, but I know we had,
Chemical.
prior, we had started stockpiling a spare of everything.
Right.
But
So.
there might not be a pump for the
Yeah,
well, so.
so I put it as 25,000, because
Okay.
we're gonna have to start buying stuff for it. I put 10,000 for facilities, and that is basically if we have to repair something in the facility,
Right.
the building itself. Next one is the generator. I put 1,500 because that's pretty much what it's gonna cost us, $750 per.
Per year, right?
Well, it's $750 twice a year,
Twice,
because they do a service,
service, yeah,
is twice a year. So just in case something happens, that we have an extra $750 if something goes for the generator, because we need to have a generator. Okay. Legal services, that budget's gonna go up higher. I put it as $10,000, because we're using them a lot now. Next year, we probably won't use them as much.
right?
So I just wanted to cover us on that. Backflow testing here,
Generator is, yeah, 650 times 2, it's $1,300 a year.
yeah, so I was close, 1,500. I gotta use a paper now, I'm getting lower here. All right, backflow testing, I increased that to 5,000. If Middleborough is gonna be doing that, we still gotta pay for it.
Right.
So, and I don't know how much it really costs, so I put 5,000 in here. It was 1,000 before, but Middleborough is gonna be charging us $10,000 if they're gonna do stuff
Yeah.
per month, then we need to compensate for that.
What's the backflow test, 180?
I-
It depends on what it is, double
Yeah.
check and all that stuff.
Yeah, but I went with him that did the backflow, the guy that did the backflow test for the Cornerstones building, and he was there for like, 10 minutes doing it.
Yeah.
So, and everything worked out good. He says everything's good for us there. So I put 5,000 just to cover ourselves, with a little bit extra there. Other professional services, so I put 100,000. It was 96,175. I put it up to 100,000, and I put that as operator for the system. So if we hire somebody to run that system, small water systems was somewhere around 4,000 a month, 5,000 a month,
Yeah.
something like that. Whatever we get, we're gonna have more. Because the first few years, it's gonna be trying to get it up and running and whatnot. So I put it as 100,000. The next one is the distribution operator. I put 50,000 for that, as other professional services. I don't know what you guys used other professional services for, their budget. So I put the distribution operator as 50,000,
That might have been subs that came in.
okay? So, subcontractors.
Yeah.
So hopefully, if we hire an operator for the system, they'll have their subs to do
Right.
everything.
Yeah.
That we won't have to do that.
That was usually costs above what they're.
Right.
Give us a breakdown, what running the plant, they're basically, this is what it is, and then it's basically time and materials above and beyond.
Right. So, the next one is telephone and SCADA. I put 6,000, a little bit more, because we hooked up the alarm system is hooked up to that now too. So I put that as 6,000. The next one is chemicals. I actually lowered that to 5,000 because I have no idea. It was 5,300 before. So I'm hoping whoever comes in there will be able to work around with that chemical
Okay.
budget. Next one is meters here. You guys,
Can I just steal this flag so we can do a pledge in the other room?
sure,
I promise you I'll bring it back.
you can keep it for now,
Don't let it touch the ground.
okay?
Thanks.
So we had already voted to have meters done this year.
Right.
And we haven't purchased those yet from them, so the next time we talk to Middleborough, just ask them about purchasing those.
Yep.
Please. But I put 1,500 for that, because we'll have a little bit extra stock for it, and then the following year, we need to buy a little bit more, just in case one goes, that we'll have things that we can keep rotating out. So this would be a recurring expense every year to buy meters.
Yep.
Because we have to change them out. They're only good for 10 years, so if we change out 50 this year, then 50 next year, then 50 the next year, then slowly we can get on a system that we don't get hit at one fell swoop. Dues and fees, I have no idea what dues and fees we get.
It's probably like we just got the bill for.
So, so I put 450 for that, for dues and fees. Our municipal insurance, I bumped that up to 30,000. It was at 29,000. If we get somebody in there working, we just gotta cover ourselves, make sure that's enough for it, and I'll talk to the finance people tomorrow to get a better understanding if we can save any money in some way, shape, or form that way. Capital outlay, we did 200,000 for this fiscal year, and that's what we're gonna be using the money for the water meters and the engineering
Yep.
study for that too. So I didn't ask for anything else from capital outlay this year, because we're asking for other monies there.
So that's gonna be 0, or that's gonna be?
Zero for capital outlay. And we'll talk about this tomorrow too, if they have suggestions. The next 4 is the grant, the loans that we have outstanding.
So that, I think that's a monthly,
For what?
is that we paying 240,000 or something a year on the loans?
Well, this is, they're all totaled. All these 4, if you total all 4, it comes up to 230,000.
Okay.
So, there's 4 of them, and it totals $230,000, 231,256. It's on the right-hand side after the 4
Oh, okay, yep.
of that, all right? So, security and fire, I put 500, just in case we have to repair anything as a backup for it. Now, this is the questions here. We have Jill from the Board of Health.
Oh.
Okay, she does work for us, and we have to pay for, we should be paying for the work that she does for us, along with the printouts, anything she prints for us, stuff like that. We should be having a bill from the town for. Whether they charge us or not, or we pay it, all right, but we need to know how much it costs. So we'll be talking about that tomorrow, that we just get a figure that we can put in here, and whether the town allows it in our budget, or we put it out there as informational only, that this is how much it costs to run the district. And then they absorb that cost. I don't know how they want to do it, the town, we'll talk about that tomorrow, but I put it in there as 12,000. The next one is landscape and plowing. They did some more work around there, they cleaned it up some more on the outside of the plant, which is great. It looks good, and that's a great fire protection for us too. But I put $5,000 for that work, and the plowing service to get in and out of that.
You cut the road back and fix the road?
No. No. Listen, I'm happy with what they're doing right now.
I'm just curious.
Yeah. They got a lot of other things going on too. Then town meter reading, right now that's being done by upstairs in finance. We may want to take over that. And if you, I think I sent this to you, is they had, we got the bill from Middleborough, and then I asked for an itemized list of all the residents' bills.
Right.
And I think I sent that to you guys. If I didn't, I will. But I asked her if she could send that to us each time, so we can keep up to date, that if we can catch somebody using a lot more water than should, maybe we need to change that meter out. If we can catch it beforehand, it's better. But I put that as a cost for us that we should be doing that billing, that service for. I put 5,000. I don't know how much it really costs.
Well, they can, I'm sure they, I haven't seen how they set it up, but maybe they could track it in some type of Excel sheet for each property, and you'll be able to see it. And if it's plugged in as they're doing it for billing, I don't know how she's tracking.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, I mean,
That way you've seen some type
Right.
of, hey, it'll stick out.
right. So I think that's part of us to turn around and monitor it too. So it's not just them upstairs, it's us too. But we'll at least have the information, which is good. Meter reading, like I just said, town billing services, again, the finance department, they do a lot of work. They probably do more than $10,000 worth of it. But we should have that part of our budget. And like I said, if it's a filter, if it's just, okay, fine, this is how much it costs, but they absorb it, so be it. But at least we know how much it costs, and we'll discuss that tomorrow.
Did you say 10,000?
That was 10,000, yes. Computer upgrade, I put 15,000. I was told it could be more with the computer upgrade. We may need 2 different computers.
I talked to the guy from IT, he has to come up there and see it.
Okay. So if he wants to meet with me or you to get up there, I mean, it's an old PC.
Yeah, he knows.
All right,
Again,
so,
all the details,
yeah,
pictures of
yeah.
everything,
For it and the programming, but
But that might come back with the engineering study of what's.
it will. The engineering study, because the touchpads need to be replaced on them, that's gonna be with the engineering study. If we buy an upgraded system now, we wanna make sure that it's gonna match everything that's there.
Right.
We don't, if they're gonna upgrade one part of the system, we don't wanna buy a system now to know that it's upgraded. So we put it in next year's budget of that 15,000. Electrical and lighting work, I know there's a grant out there, but we still need those lighting fixed in the back. So just gotta keep it on the back of our heads for that. I put $10,000 for grant writing services. So talking with George McLaughlin and whatever agreement they have with the town for tax, I don't care, and I told him I don't care about that. But there's grants out there for water towers, there's grants out there for upgrades to water systems here. You gotta put the money in. There's some grants that you can get into now for the next fiscal year. And they go up, there's one up, ends in, I think, December or whatnot. But looking at it for the next fiscal year, that us trying to get grants, maybe a grant writer would be good for us. And if the town, like I said, the town's busy doing their stuff, let's hire somebody to help us. If we don't use it, we don't use it. But I hope to. And then office supplies, I put $1,000 there because my wife's mad I ran out of toner. Because I keep printing out stuff and whatnot, and I brought all my papers that I had at my house to the plant today, where I'll actually go through the filing, and that's one of my things in here. But to do that.
Apologies, what did you say for the amount on that?
That was $1,000. All right, so I totaled all this up, and it came out to, should have brought my glasses, $669,706 and no cents. Then I put Middleborough water bill. I put $240,000 because we have their bill coming in. So we have money that we're going to bill the customers. So that's money in and out. So, but I think we should incorporate it in our budget to pay that.
Right.
And like I said, the money's going to come in and out, and we're going to talk about this tomorrow anyways. But I think just putting the money out. So that brings our total up to $909,706. So then, after all this was said and done, I forgot our salary, our $300 per person on the board for our commissioner salaries. So I added that in, and I did some other calculations here on this. If we took out the town services and the loan payments, it comes out to $614,450.
That sounds roughly what the budget typically was.
Okay, so, and then I expanded further on that, but that $900 for our salaries has to be bumped up. So when I do the final on this, to come to it, that will be put in one of our other columns here. So I'm gonna ask right now that if you guys want to approve the total of $909,706 for the North Carver Water District budget for 2026.
Did the accountant run through it? Did the accountant upstairs run through it?
No, that's gonna be tomorrow. So what I'm asking for you guys to approve this here, I'll go to them and say, this is what we approved. Do you have suggestions, issues, or whatever? And then we can come back at our next meeting, and then we'll turn around and say, all right, after talking to them, we've closed this down here.
Okay.
This is our preliminary budget for the North Carver Water District of $909,706.
I'll make a motion.
In second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? I do have one thing for discussion that kind of goes with this, and this will be one of my questions too, is that, say we turn around and we go to town meeting with this budget, and okay, fine, it gets approved, and then we decide that we don't need as much money, all right, or even if we don't use all this $200,000 in this budget. Because it's an enterprise fund, can we vote to give the money back to the town and to be put in the general fund? I'm not sure if we can do that. I've talked to a couple people, and there's mixed, once you get it from an enterprise fund, it's in the fund, and that's it. I don't know if we can give backs. But I would not want to keep money in my budget extra from the taxpayers if we can use that money for something else. So at the end of this year, if we have money left over, I mean, I would more than likely want to push it back and give it back to the town and say, okay, this is our new budget, here we go. So that's just my discussion point on it. I'll talk to them tomorrow about that.
Yeah, I get some feedback from how that works.
Right.
Something funky with it. I think that we'll have X amount in our fund and that's it, but the rest is under a town fund, and we go to the town.
Yeah, we have to ask for, yeah.
Right, so, yeah, get clarification
So,
from finance.
but that was my only discussion. So there's a motion, second discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, it's unanimous as a proposed budget. All right, thank you very much. I'll put that there. Budget. And that was technically my first budget I ever really did for a town thing, but I tried. Discussion of needs of the plant, we still need the lighting fixed. The electrical, the phone isn't working because the outlets are out again. And then the garage door,
I haven't heard from them.
yeah, I had called and they said that, I emailed them and they said they're waiting for the parts to come in.
Okay.
So if you can just reach out to them again, and
Okay.
it was one of your things. But, yeah. And then the lighting, I'll talk to Dave about his
Yeah, see,
his grant for that, to see where that is and see if we can get those done. Next one, the new meters. So I got notification from upstairs about 170 and 154 Plymouth Street and 148 Plymouth Street, that there's issues with their meters and the readers, so they need to be replaced. The 148 was the one we just replaced.
Yeah.
We just put in. Then 8 and 9 Hines Ave, there's an issue with theirs. And then 5 Captain Perkins Way, they say it's a 1-inch line.
6 inch. That's six Captain Perkins.
6 Captain Perkins,
Yeah.
what did they say?
5.
I'm sorry, I need glasses.
It's all right.
They're in the truck. So 6 Captain Perkins, they have a 1-inch line. So as you're saying, Middleborough's will take care of our
Yeah, so
our
we're gonna
meters,
add
and
31
Santana Way.
is to be added to
Yeah.
that. And then also, Captain Perkins, that's the one, that's probably what he was talking about.
Right. So, and I was told it's a 1-inch line.
Yeah, it's probably got the wrong meter on it.
Yeah. All right, so thank you very much for taking care of that.
Do you want me to give him these properties?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. And if they can do it, fine. If they can't, let us know, and then we'll hire our own people to get it done for it. And next one is, I was asked about, actually, I think it was Santana Way. We didn't have plans on file or anything for access to it, to know where their
Shut off.
caisson is, to shut off or whatever for it. So the guy, through Jill's help, getting the developer of it, they actually emailed us a copy of it, and I got it to Middleborough,
Okay.
so they could get that too. But we need copies of all the plans for the water lines,
They're probably up in the permitting office.
or up in the attic, where everything else is.
Anything
So we
on
need,
the street is-
we need copies of everything. Every water line that runs up the streets, from Plymouth Street to Main Street to, all, whatever it's called, I can't remember the other street that's over there. Hines, Captain Perkins, I can't remember the other one. But all those, we need the plans. We need that at the plant.
It might be, did you go through all the plans up there?
Yes.
Okay.
Most of them are for the actual plant.
Okay.
There's one development in there, and that's it.
Okay.
And they got mice poop on it, and pee and everything else. But that's something that we're gonna have to do, and that's gonna be one extra thing to put to Jill for it. That's why having her do more work, I mean, we need to ensure that it's getting done and she's compensated. Filing at the plant, I got two boxes from Homes to go through the files. All the stuff I had at my house, I wanted to get out of. My wife was mad at me, get rid of these off the table. So I did, I brought them to the plant, and I'll start working on that in the next week or so. That's that. We still need another file cabinet, because the stuff that we have in there, we can probably box up, but we still will need another one, once we get more plans and everything to put them in.
Yeah, that's fine. We can just
All
open
right,
up.
so we'll need one of those. Number 16, I was talking to Joanne Layton of the RDA, and I got a copy of Department of Revenue audit that North Carver Water District did. And I looked at that, and I gave it to her, and she looked at it, and she actually suggested that we reach out to have another audit done. So we can look from what was done before to where we're at now. I know it's tough to do that, but it's one of those things that there'll probably be some of the recurrent things that have happened from that one to this one, but they can help us along the way for the future of the district. So I'm just looking to see if you guys want to do another audit, and we'll put it on the next agenda to actually vote on it. This is just a discussion. Do you guys want to do an audit or not of the district? Yes,
I'd
no?
probably wait till after we get everything
Yeah,
done with the engineering, get all that squared away.
Okay, no problem. All right, and she also suggested that I go to their next meeting for the redevelopment authority, just to go over what we discussed today with George and where we're at with it. And with the RDA, they're facilitators for the urban renewal plan. They don't have any real bargaining to it. They're just to help out. So they're really interested in the North Carver Water District here because it affects the urban renewal plan.
Right.
And they are to oversee the urban renewal plan. So it's on the best interest of the town of Carver, the urban renewal plan, and everyone else, that we all be on the same page of what's going on and how it's being done. So other than that, I just want to make sure that the meter pit, as we already explained, was being paid for the ARPA fund. So I'd like to say thank you very much for Plymouth County for helping us with the ARPA fund and taking care of that, and the town.
I was gonna say,
For-
the select board,
I'm getting-
they did it before me.
So, but the work of the select board and also the town administrator's office, because you guys put a lot of work and effort in it, so I want to thank you very much. You do a lot for us, and that being said, I think, do you guys have anything else? Yeah?
Next meeting?
Okay, next meeting. So, Do you want to do the week of the, Thanksgiving's the 28th? I don't want to do it the day before Thanksgiving.
No.
Do you want to do it on the 20th? Can you guys do the 20th?
Nope.
We're both gone on the 12th and not back till the 24th.
Wait, 12th to 24th? I can't.
Yeah, my wife's not happy. Take that off the clock.
You going hunting?
Yeah.
I knew it. Yeah, okay, fine. All right, so then we have a little discrepancy because
The
the,
26th, Doug, what about that? Oh, Tuesdays you're not available.
No.
I'd have to check my schedule. So how about we do this? We'll tentatively do the 26th.
You can't.
He's not available.
I'm not available.
Oh, you're not available the 26th? All right,
Tuesdays, I'm not.
What about that Monday?
want to try Monday?
We can do Monday.
You can do Monday, the 25th?
I can do Monday.
I'm always working Mondays.
Right.
And because we're short, I can't really take time off.
But
Unless,
You wanna do
can you meet?
Tuesday? Can we do Tuesday? I mean, Doug, we still have make it brief, right?
Wait, can we do a morning one? Can you guys do morning on Monday at all? No?
Work.
Okay.
He's up.
Because,
What are we gonna have on the agenda? Anything that's gonna be pressing that we need?
huh?
three
The
of us?
only thing that we need is the RFP for the engineering. We need that to
I
vote
can
on
do-
that.
I gotta be out of here by 6
On what?
on a Tuesday.
We can go early.
So anytime after 3:30.
I can get someone to cover me, hopefully.
Well, I mean, it's
That's
just
my
the RFP
weekend.
review.
Right, that's all it is.
We'll just do it. We'll just do it.
You have a quorum with two, right?
Yeah, well,
Right,
We'll
two,
just do it
right.
Tuesday,
Okay.
that's fine.
Want to do Tuesday?
Me and you will meet up at Tuesday and get it done.
What time do you want to be here?
You wanna do it like 5, get it out of the way? That work?
I gotta get it from work. I gotta find out about work
Oh,
at night, because I only have Wednesdays off. That's my week. I probably have 2 days off that week.
can't do the Wednesday before Thanksgiving either.
Yeah, I don't think anybody wants to do that. So we'll do tentatively the 6th, the
You
6th,
wanna do
yeah.
what'd you say, a morning?
We can do morning,
What morning?
any morning before 12 o'clock.
You wanna do Monday morning?
We'll do Monday, the 25th,
Yeah, you wanna do it like 9?
9 AM?
Yeah,
That's fine.
okay.
Monday, 9 AM on the 25th. Okay. So we'll do that. And then can we set up a meeting in December? The 11th or the 18th? Because I know we're probably going to have other bills coming in, because we still haven't got a legal bill.
Yeah.
And
You wanna do the 18th?
18th is fine.
Okay.
18th. Okay. So we're all set with those 2 days.
Same time, 6 o'clock, 6 o'clock?
6 o'clock, yeah. If you guys want to change the time on Wednesdays, that's fine with me, and I appreciate you guys for doing this on
You wanna
Wednesdays.
do it a little earlier on Wednesdays?
That's fine,
Like-
whatever you want.
Yeah.
What time you want to
Do
do?
like 5?
5.
5 is okay.
Yeah.
So
That-
December 18th at 5.
Yeah. That all right with you?
That's fine. You okay?
Cool.
All right. All right, that being said, we're not going to have an executive session, so at some point we will be. Okay? So entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make that motion?
Second it.
Motion second, discussion, all those in favor, say aye. Aye. Thank you, appreciate it, everyone.
I'll get these over to.
Thank you very much, I appreciate it.